That was awful.
What? I worked on that a little bit, and I actually kind of enjoyed it.
What year is this?
It was like screaming alien bees.
Yeah, awful.
I feel bad for the people that had to hear that and for the people who you tortured just now.
So, you guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I mean the
As
virtual
of
bees.
this moment, other people have not heard it yet. So therefore, I have not tortured anyone else other than you three.
I don't know.
I mean,
agree
something
with that, but-
living made that noise, Oric. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, your mom
What?
probably heard it.
Huh? That's fine.
But
Your Roomba
welcome,
heard it.
everybody. Welcome, people out there, to the Too Soon Podcast, episode 5. And I am, of course, your host, Trenton, joined by Oric,
That's me.
Liam,
Nah.
and now officially your new co-host and permanent member of the Too Soon crew, Trevon.
Hey,
That's me.
He's got a Coke or something.
That's the sound.
Better
of
with
that
Coke.
I'm that
Didn't
man's.
say anything.
I'm that man.
I'm that man's. You know
So
why
we
I'm
all
that
talked
man's?
about it, and Trayvon really wants to be part of the crew. There's no reason why he can't be part of the crew, so we're making him part of the crew, the Too Soon crew, brought to you by Applebee's.
Brought to you by the Too Soon crew.
Not just Applebee's. Applebee's is chocolate cake. Chocolate fudge fountain, whatever the fuck dumb name they gave a chocolate cake.
What?
You've never been to Applebee's?
I haven't been to Applebee's in at least 5 years.
I think
Yeah.
I went once on someone's birthday, and we got the chocolate fudge fountain lava.
Was it a
cake.
lava cake?
I don't know. They have a million. I think it's like a long name.
Because a
Last
lava
I
cake
checked.
is something completely different than just
No,
plain old
it's-
chocolate
it's-
cake.
It's like their own specialty brand chocolate.
Was
I
it
don't know.
just like volcano?
It was just a volcano on my
Was it
lap.
active?
So it was,
It
a
was
lava
an active
cake.
volcano.
All right, that sounds
Actually,
good. I'll eat it.
fun fact: Pompeii was caused by Applebee's. It was the
sounds
first
right.
franchise. It just shook too much, and then Pompeii occurred.
They're like, look, this is a little too.
No wonder why they're
look,
so
Too
popular
many people
now.
at Pompeii. We need
Yeah,
room
too
for
soon.
Applebee's.
Too soon.
Burn it down.
Too soon.
It's only
So
been a
now
couple
that
thousand
Trey-
years.
So now that Trey is an official member of the crew, I think he wanted to, get us started tonight. So we've been rambling. So Trey, why don't you ramble us into a direction? Go for it.
Oh man, that was
All right.
nice.
I'm gonna learn you a thing or two.
Oh, are you now?
I don't know. What are we learning about?
I don't know, teach me your ways.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trusting
so
you.
the best way to shave is to shower first.
Against the grain.
Yeah, go against the grain. You don't need a razor blade. Just get like what do you
Get a
call them?
rock.
Yeah, just get a sharp rock. Make sure
What
it
do
has
you
a good
call them?
edge.
A rock?
Yeah, make sure it has a good edge, and just go at it. You may bleed a little bit. You may lose a bit of skin, but that's what we want.
But Trey, I like my skin.
Well, that's because you're white.
That's true, probably.
Wow.
Trey, do you want me to tell you a story about one of the first times I shaved?
Sure, that sounds
Okay.
interesting.
I don't want to
Wait,
hear it.
So
Give me a second.
Let
Yeah,
me mute my
just share it
headphones
with
so that-
Trey, though. The rest of us don't want to listen.
I got
Let
to
me
take a
mute
slurp.
my headphone real quick.
I got
Liam,
slurp.
Orc, do
I
your
got
own
slurp.
thing. I'm going to tell Trey something.
Yeah.
All right, I guess you guys can listen too.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
All
I
right,
took that
so
slurp.
like we've mentioned several times, I met Oric here on Xbox.
Yeah.
So besides just playing with Oric, I played a lot of Xbox Live back in my day, and I had a lot of friends besides Oric on Xbox Live back in the day. Most
I
of them I
don't
don't
believe
talk to
that,
anymore.
but go on.
Well, I mean, Oric could attest to the amount of
there
really
were
dumb,
4.
weird kids.
That
Well,
sounds
that's
about
the
right.
main 4, but there was like many other 4s of 4s.
Forza.
Go on.
So pretty much, I remember. I think this is probably around the time of 8th grade or maybe 9th grade, and like my facial hair was finally starting to fully come in, and it was getting kind of annoying, and I wasn't ready to grow a beard yet, or even try to like fully grow my facial hair. So I remember I was playing. I think this might have been even in the time of Reach days, and I asked someone I was playing Reach with, who I don't remember their name or
Halo
anything.
Reach, that is. Not just reaching for
yeah.
objects.
Halo, yeah, Halo
That's not a
Reach,
favorite
game. Reaching for
the
objects.
Halo game that came after Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST that we played a lot of. I was on Xbox Live one night, I think playing custom games, something like that, and I remember like, man, I got a razor blade. I kind of want to shave, but I don't want to cut myself. So I remember asking someone on Xbox Live, like, "Hey, how old are you again?" Like the person I'm talking to, like, "Yeah, I'm like," he's like in his late teens. He's like, "You shave, right?" Like, "Yeah, pretty often." I'm like, "So, what's the best way to shave?" and I pretty much got my first shave from like instructions over Xbox because, well, at the time it wasn't really around any men.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar issue, except I didn't ask a stranger on the internet for help shaving. I just kind of figured it out.
I mean, I pretty much knew, shaving cream, hot water, all that, but I just want to make sure, like anything I was missing.
I think I was about the same. I first started off with like electric razors,
Yeah.
and then just after that, I started using the blades.
I think for one Christmas, my grandfather gave me one of those like high-end electric razors, which is fine. It's just like, I don't know, every now and then you'll get the random like pluck instead of cut, and that
Yeah,
hurts
I
like a
hate that.
motherfucker.
That's why I started using like regular just razors.
Then I moved on to regular razors, but then I got sick of that shit, and now I just have a permanent 5 o'clock shadow because I shave with like the buzzing thing, whatever they're called, hair buzzers.
So you more of just like trim it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
You trim it down as short as you can get it so that you have just really short
Without a
stubble.
razor.
Yeah, I do
well,
the same thing.
Gotcha.
It's funny for me. I was able to grow facial hair really early on in my teens, but I just never let my facial hair grow out until like senior year of high school.
I can still barely grow facial hair.
I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I had a mustache in like early middle school.
You were that one.
Yeah, it
The
wasn't
one
until it wasn't until high school when like my beard started growing in, like freshman year. That's when it
Yeah,
actually
the first time you ever
started
said
growing.
"Orale" is when it came in.
Orale,
The second he finished saying that word. just
Salina.
mustache.
Salina.
Oh yeah, actually, we can mention that really
I
quick.
saw your snap.
Yeah, whenever was it the next a few days later after
few
the
days,
last
at least 2
episode?
days.
Yeah, a few days after the last episode, we me and Trey went shopping and we found Selena on DVD, and we then proceeded to snap it to Oric and Liam on their side.
I have a topic. If Trenton feels comfortable talking about it,
Oh,
do you know
God.
where I'm going with this?
I know.
I know where he's going with it.
No,
Yeah,
not
we all
Selena,
know, except
but
for Trenton, apparently.
How do you not already know?
little Miss
I don't know.
Caitlin.
Oh, I did forget that was the thing already.
Only if you feel comfortable talking about
No,
it.
that's totally fine. We just won't. Oh, you already said her name. Fuck.
Well, but not
You
last
can-
name.
you can edit
Just
it
censor
out.
it.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Of,
I mean-
there's a lot of. Well, I won't say it again if
Just-
we're gonna edit it out.
If,
but
hey, if you censor it, can you just do me doing the Selena?
just cut into
Cut
something.
that over it.
that'd be very confusing. But
That would-
honestly,
All right.
as long as we say her first name, it doesn't really
we'll
matter.
refer to her
Yeah,
as
She's
Selena
she
from
is
now on.
never going to hear this.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I watch her actually listen to it.
Wait,
so
whatever
it will never
happened
happen.
like towards the end?
Well, let's
Like,
start.
So how about
from
we
the
start from the beginning?
All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
That's
Okay.
the best.
Okay.
Wait.
So-
Can you wait, Trenton?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I guess I won't go into too much detail until you guys like pull it out of me because it's not even that significant.
I'm not
in the long
pulling
run.
a
It's
damn
just-
thing out of you.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
gross.
That's
I will
that's
neither pull or put anything.
that's actually Trevon's job.
Ooh.
Okay, so pretty much sometime last week, I don't remember what day exactly. I was at work. Remember the phone store for people listening, and I was just doing my job, helping customers, selling phones, stuff like that. And somewhere in the day, a girl who's a regular customer of mine who I've helped a few times before, she gives me a call, and I didn't even tell you guys this yet, but she gave me a call earlier that day, and I wasn't sure if it was her because she didn't say her name over the phone. But I remember her calling me, and I realized it was her later on when she came to the store. And this girl called me, who I sort of knew who it was because I knew it was my customer. She called the store, and she's like, "Hey, I need a new phone." I'm like, okay, what happened to your phone? It's like, yeah, I washed it in the washing machine. So she washed her iPhone 5 in her pants in the washing machine and destroyed it. So she was looking to get another iPhone, something similar, to replace it. And of course, working at a phone store, being an employee of her phone provider, was like, yeah, I can make that work. So eventually she came out to the store. I talked her into getting the iPhone SE, the upgraded version of the 5. And she didn't get it that day, but somewhere along the lines I was helping her. And actually what happened is she didn't get the phone that day, but she was having an issue where she needed to get into her email.
You went to the
but-
way beginning.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, this
Well,
is
I
important.
think this is a
just-
good. Yeah, this is a good start.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's important for you to understand like how like out of left field this was.
Okay.
So basically, I was helping her with her phone, and what she really needed was just to get into her email. So what I did for her, instead of not even selling her a phone or getting her a phone, I just did her a simple favor of letting her use my cell phone with her number on it, so she can get a text message to reset her email, which you have to do. You know, you either use a backup email or a phone number to reset your email. And she was super grateful for that because I didn't technically have to do it for her. I'm a salesman. You know, I don't really have to go out my way to necessarily help her with stuff that crazy or even let her use my phone, but I did just because, you know, I try to help people I can at my job. And then right after that, she was very happy. And then shortly somewhere after that is when she just directly like interrupted me talking to her. Like, hey, are you single? Just like that. And I'm like, yeah.
She's forward. I like that.
Because I didn't see any reason to
Good quality
lie to
of
her.
Right.
Oh yeah, Liam didn't even hear the full story.
Oh, then this works.
Yeah, this works for Liam. So and she's all right, you know, really really nice girl, pretty okay looking. You know, too soon.
It was only a week ago.
And roll credits.
And pretty much I was just like, she asked me if she can add me on Facebook, and I even asked my number, and then yeah, sure, I really don't care who adds me on Facebook, so I let her add me on Facebook. And then basically immediately after I get off work that night, she was like already messaging me like, hey, you're very nice. I like your personality. Like, whoa, all right. I mean, she's very nice and forward, whatever. Nothing too crazy yet. And then I proceeded to just basically text this girl for the next few days and see if she's cool. Turns out she's kind of a really fucking nutty Christian girl.
Nothing against Christian people, but
well,
yeah,
why don't you just read some of her texts?
Oh,
Okay,
so
That's the best part.
Yeah, so nothing directly against her or her family or the church or anything like that. But essentially, before I read the text, she's the type of girl that grew up in the church. Her father runs the church she grew up in. And she's looking for someone not only to date, but to commit to her, to not have sex with her until marriage, and to be fine with that, and to, you know, just be with her the rest of her life. And I'm like, I just turned 21, and I just met you.
Yep.
So... and in our text conversations, you know, trying to get to know her, trying to maybe like figure out like a time or a place we can like hang out and get to know each other. That's when it started to show like how kind of like, I wouldn't even say crazy because like, you know, to be fair to her, that's just kind of how she grew up. She doesn't really know anything else.
Yeah, it's just not realistic anymore.
Yeah, it's not realistic, and it's just kind of ridiculous to expect anybody that she has actually any interest in to really be able to live up to these standards she has as far as like what she expects of them as like people. So pretty much the first day I texted her, I got her number attached to another contact on my phone, so I deleted like half of the messages she sent me. But the second half is full of content. So the first major message of note is a very long message. The longest message she ever sent me. She decided to send like a 25 lined text, like not a paragraph, but like lined out of different questions she wanted me to answer. Just, you know, just general like get to know the person. And a lot of them are just insignificant ones like candy, chips, drink.
It's a fucking questionnaire, is what it is.
It's like a survey
yeah,
almost.
she's got to make sure you're the right one.
but the standout ones to me are fried or grilled chicken.
That is a very reasonable question. If you like grilled
that was
chicken,
number 9. I was at least glad that she like cared enough about the, you know, like how her chicken is prepared to ask
fried chicken
her future partner for that.
Let's be real.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I do love me some grilled chicken too. Mac and cheese or green beans, which to me doesn't really feel like
that's a dumb question.
You know,
that's
because they don't. I don't see why they have to like compete or go against each other. Like,
I want to be a teacher, and I stand by. There's no such thing as stupid questions, but that's a stupid question.
Okay, and then here's where the questions get like kind of just stupid and unreasonable. So number 15, done any drugs?
I mean, that's reasonable. You don't want a crackhead.
I mean, it's reasonable,
Yeah,
but like
I see that one.
I think a better way to phrase it is like, done any drugs, or like, do you currently do
But also
drugs?
like right after a bunch of food oriented
Yeah.
questions to go, hey, also drugs?
It's a little out of
It's
left
a
field.
little weird.
yeah.
What's
The
your
question
views
before
on chicken and meth?
Yo,
Yeah,
we need to open a restaurant right now.
Chicken and meth. I feel like there will be a heavy cop presence.
Eating the
question
chicken and
before
meth,
this
or,
one, by
like,
the way,
what?
just so you guys know, the question before the drugs one was ham or turkey.
that is also reasonable.
Why not both?
Yeah.
From meat to
I'm more of a
meth.
turkey guy.
Another good restaurant name.
So after that, she said, ever drink. And here's the thing. She's phrasing this as ever. Like, do you really care what I've ever
that's-
done, or do you
that's
care what I
kinda
currently
crazy.
do? Yeah, like so then after that it was ever smoked. And actually, just so you know, I didn't answer any of these questions because I didn't want to answer 25 questions in a fucking survey like rapid fire to her. And then she said, and then here's a kind of fair question: have you ever been with someone? See, that's the kind of a question where you would ask ever.
Yeah.
And then number 19 is where it gets kind of like orcs gonna laugh at this one. Do you cuss?
Fuck yeah, bitch.
I was expecting like I was honestly expecting like, do you drink milk every day? That's why I was like, Orc would love that one.
Milk every day.
I just reached for
Okay.
my milk because of that.
And here's a question I didn't even realize she asked me. But before that one, she asked me, do I go to church? Which the answer is no. But then here's a question I didn't even read when I read this the first time. Do you love your family?
That's
man.
that's an odd question.
It's so like
A lot of these are real
Like,
personal.
yeah, it's
even
so
though,
like,
you
that's
just
a
met.
real
but
personal
still
thing, like,
broad.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
wouldn't-
broad and personal at the same time.
I wouldn't ask anybody that question, honestly. That's not my problem.
And then it goes kind of back and forth for the last couple ones. It's
Do
like
you love
reasonable,
your
then not
family?
reasonable.
Why wasn't the next
So-
question like, who would you rather kill, your mom or your brother?
Well, no,
Who
the
would
next
you
question
rather
was,
kill?
do I
Jesus.
drive? Which is a fair question for people our age. A lot of people our age don't have cars or licenses yet. So do you drive was reasonable? But then it goes to dogs, which again, yeah, good question. And then, are you saved? As in, like, am I saved by Jesus Christ?
Oh no, that's a really direct question.
Are you saved?
And then the question after that,
Bitch,
the
I
last
was never in
question.
danger.
And then the last question after that is, have I ever been in love? Which again is a fair
that's
question
a
when you're
fair
like, you know,
Yeah,
getting-
but still, that's like you've been dating a month or two, maybe. Well, maybe not that long. Maybe like 2 weeks.
maybe.
It's not a first day thing.
And then basically after that, I basically just kind of didn't answer any of those, and we just went back to normal conversations. And here I'm trying to pull up some highlights of like the texting after that. And pretty much she was very immediately clingy. She said several times that she was extremely interested in me right away, which is flattering, but in the context of the situation, it's like, man, this is very scary. Let's see. Like, yeah, so she said she's very interested in me, and my family likes, her family likes me as well. Because her family, like her, is also my customers.
Oh, okay. I was about to say like they were straight up stalking you.
Let's see. I'm trying to
Well,
think of anything.
there was a point where Trenton was kind of supposed to go on a date with her. Not
Well,
again.
that's
from
like-
her perspective, it was supposed
And
to. From his perspective,
ended
it
up-
was an option.
Yeah, it ended up me and Trenton like going out getting like Huddle House, like just food, and then we decided to go to Walmart and we actually see her family.
And they stopped me, and we talked for like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Really does sound like a Walmart type of family.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the town we live in knows a Walmart family.
That's
You
probably
don't-
true. Yeah, it's a Walmart town.
No
Yeah,
offense
you don't
to
have much of a
Walmart
choice here.
towns.
And like just to put into context like how clingy she was, even though we've only like met each other while I'm at work, is like as we were texting the day, she would even periodically stop and check, but like, have I bothered you today? Or whenever she would reveal something personal about herself, she'd be like, "Is that a problem?" Very
A
insecure.
fucking
Kind of.
psychiatrist. How do you feel about this?
See, I just keep getting like thinking back to that "do you love your family" question, because like I've been dating Jessica for almost 6 years now, or no, almost 5 years. Sorry, Jessica. And I don't think I'd ever ask her that question.
Okay, and then after like reading through the text just now, because I'm scrolling through the messages on my phone, here's where it gets spicy again. So somewhere just in our casual conversation, just trying to just talk to each other, just talk to her, just get to know her a little better. Kind of hoping in the back of my mind, like, man, maybe she's really not as like crazy as I'm starting to think. She drops, "Are you a virgin?" question, which is kind of a direct way to put it, but whatever. I'm an open book, and I said I am not, and then I just decided just to be fair. Are you?
Jeez.
And then she says, "Yes, I am," which, okay, fair, whatever. Not everybody,
All right, that's
has
all you.
experiences early. Okay, and then I said, and I only said it this way just because she had asked me this several times in this kind of, style. I then replied saying, "Oh, okay. Does that bother you if I'm not?" Because, she's already said that like 6 times to me. Like, does that
Right.
bother you? So I figured let's
Use
just
her
go
own
see.
language.
Yeah. And then she said, "Well, as long as you're okay with that, I want to give you mine unless we are married." And she worded it very... No,
What?
here's the... Okay, no. I was trying to fix it when I read that. Here's how she literally wrote it. And by the way, her grammar is terrible when she texts. But I think that's mainly because she just doesn't know how to use a cell phone. Not that her grammar is that bad, which I hope.
How does a millennial not know how to use a cell phone?
Church,
Millennials.
Church.
Yeah,
It interferes
millennials.
with your ability to touch a screen.
Okay, so this is how she literally wrote the message. As long as you're okay with that, I won't give to you unless we was married.
So
how she wrote
won't is what she meant?
I want to give.
She was trying to say, as long as I'm okay with the fact she won't give me her virginity until we were married.
Right.
Is what. And then she said immediately after
when
that.
they're
It's
married,
like a fucking
not if.
possession, too. Why
Not
is it a
if they're
fucking
married.
possession?
When
Like, here it
they're married.
is. Like, what's the physical embodiment of virginity? Like, here you go.
Dick and pussy is how most Christians see it.
It's a fucking sculpture.
Right.
want
And then
it, you can have
and
it.
then and that kind of threw me for a curve because like, what, do you really want me to answer that like right now? So pretty much what I said after that is like, it's kind of hard to say right now, because we just started talking, just trying to be a friend at first. And then here's what it gets super bad, Liam, especially for Liam. So basically I'm basically saying I don't want to answer that right now, but she took that as, here, I'm going to read the next message just so you understand, Liam, and the audience too. Like, would you force me to have sex with you?
I think that's called rape.
So in her
Exactly what
mind,
it's called.
Are you a rapist? Is that on eHarmony, you think?
Yeah, it's like
that
a
part of the
check-off
questionnaire?
box. Is that
Look,
rapist?
I'm pretty sure nobody will openly admit that. Like, not even openly admit it, but
That's
like,
like the
even
whole
just,
idea of being a rapist
Yeah.
is it's a secret.
you caught me.
Until it's
All you
not.
had to do was ask.
You got me this
My
time.
bad.
man, this whole podcast is going to be this,
I've
isn't
been
it?
bamboozled
Probably.
again.
Yeah.
There's
mean,
a
this
lot
is
of
some-
content here.
I said there was a lot of content here. I gotta go back to. I just closed that by mistake. But
She was a little,
let me go back.
thirsty.
That's a fucking good one, actually. Hey, let me go back. So, here, Trey, say some stuff while I pull up the message again.
Our forefathers,
Yeah.
once in heaven,
Fourscore
hallowed be thy
7 years
name.
ago, our forefathers did a thing. I
Well,
only
yeah,
know the
you're
intro.
gonna be a history teacher. You
They
should
fought-
recite some shit.
they fought the
I don't
aliens.
fucking memorize shit. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm back.
Isn't
I'm
that the whole
back.
point of history is memorizing shit?
No.
Pretty much.
No, it isn't.
What are you talking about? All right, what's the date of something?
Well, yeah,
Memorization.
Dates are different than memorizing speeches that were made
right,
in the
Liam.
1860s.
Oh, I'm not saying I just meant memorization is a big part.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Liam, when was Independence
Okay, we just
Day?
put our audience on a cliffhanger. Let's get back to the topic.
This is how quickly we could just get into an argument.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
we're real
quick.
good
It's
at this.
sad.
And then I'll stumble over some words because I don't know.
Okay, so what I was trying to explain a second ago, though, so pretty much because I did not directly say, that I'm okay of not having sex, until marriage, because I was trying to be polite and coy about it, because it's a very awkward thing to talk about with
Yeah,
someone you
that's
just met.
that's like a year in like
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, like,
I feel like you'd notice a year in.
yeah, you
yeah, no, I mean, people our age, like, that's a conversation we really need to have, like, like a month or so.
Yeah.
Like if you're not like if you're in your 20s and not already actively having sex with your partner, then that's a conversation that's going to happen like really quickly. Okay, so right after that, just because obviously not, I said no, I would never force anyone to have sex with me. That's a kind of ridiculous statement. I don't know why me not answering that question immediately makes you assume that I'm a rapist. And then she plays victim immediately after and says, "I bet you're not interested in me now."
Oh my god.
got him.
I mean, that's such an asshole thing to say. Like, just assuming that you're like, oh, sex is out of the picture, so yeah, it's not an option anymore. Like, that's so.
Yeah,
she's just assuming so much about you.
Yeah, that's so
Right.
That's
You know
so
what? I'm
shallow.
gonna even pull this sexist card. You don't often hear that coming
Yeah,
from
you
a
never
male's
hear-
voice,
yeah.
but that's a bit sexist.
Yeah.
So just before I continue reading her messages, I will say personally, just so in case anybody was wondering about me, about the situation, I personally would generally rather prefer to have sex with a partner before I marry them, just so I actually know what that's like. Because to me, if I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with someone being married to them, or a big portion of my life being married to someone, I want to know what the sex is like, because that will eventually become important to me. But that's not at all a defining factor for me into being with someone. Obviously, everything else when it comes to how they are as a person, what they do, how we click. All that's way more important, but that's just something I would like to, be able to experience with someone after an appropriate amount of time. So I'm not unreasonable in that factor. I don't want to just fuck a girl right away if I'm getting to know them and I want to date them.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not, it's not really fair to just say I'm a dick because, that matters to me, because it should matter to people. It's an important part of your life, especially when when you find the right person to do that with. But back to how that conversation went after that. I basically just explained to her everyone is different, that these conversations would more than likely be better once we actually start hanging out maybe a little bit. And at this point, she's already pretty much kind of fucked it for herself, because she is into me. That's why she's texting me. She's into me. She thinks I'm a cool person, and she thinks if she can convince me to be more religious, I'd be a perfect fit for her.
Right.
I say she just thirsty, dog.
Yeah. And pretty much trying to calm her down.
That holy water.
Maybe salvage the situation. Be like, you know what? Maybe in these texts, maybe I can make her realize, you know what? There's no need to be so forceful to a guy I just met and make him. They have so much expectations. Let's just get to know each other. And then she said, yes, I know. And basically after telling her that, she's like, yes, I know, but that's what. But what I ask of you is really a big importance to me. I'm like, yeah, obviously.
That's why you would ask.
It's just not best through text.
And then her explanation is, I've only been on one date with a guy that I didn't know, so this is new to me. I need to know that I'm not going to be in danger.
Oh, God.
She really thinks you're a rapist. She genuinely does think you're a rapist.
Yeah. But just so you know, after this part of the conversation, we texted for another day and a half. And the only reason why we stopped is because I dropped a big reveal to her, which I'll say for last.
Yeah. Trenton, didn't you tell me she was engaged at one point?
She had a fiance? She even had a fiance at one point. So some guy almost was crazy enough to be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay with this chick and not even know what the pussy's like until after I got the ring on it, which is crazy.
It's very old fashioned, but whatever.
So after that whole little virgin fiasco thing, the conversation just went back to normal, just to make it just more casual. And then, what happens next? Here, Trey, give me your thoughts while I try to find the next juicy bit.
I like how you're.
I grew up without a father. A big father figure in my life was my uncle. His name is Jerry. I don't know where he's at right now.
My father figure
he's probably
is Brendan Fraser.
Nice.
Did you know he invented orange juice?
Brendan Fraser invented orange juice.
Man, that is a really old joke.
I thought Nova's father figure would be
but it'll spread.
Yep. You guys are literally my intermission.
What'd you say?
Is it the Roomba that goes on top of the Roomba, or the Roomba?
Oh yeah, the mini
Hello,
Roomba,
son.
the quarter-sized Roomba that cleans the top of Roombas.
The baby Roomba.
I've cleaned your room, son. Let's go play ball.
Okay,
that's a sad image, playing catch with a Roomba, because it's just got a mid on top of it, and it can catch potentially if you're really good at aiming.
You're very accurate,
but it can't throw back. You can play fetch, maybe.
You gotta slow walk over to get the ball back.
Yeah, and you're kind of one tier
just
drops
bumping
down your
into
face.
bumping into some grass. Just
and then cleaning it out afterwards would be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it would get
It's
filthy.
just
all right,
dirt,
so are you guys
sand on a baseball diamond.
You guys ready for a juicy bit?
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Is that enough of a buffer?
It was pretty good. You guys are a really good intermission.
You're the main show. We're the fucking intermission.
I mean, this episode, that's kind of the case.
I mean, you got the best story out of us all.
That's gonna be a great description.
So back to the text. So basically, if I don't say all the text, like I've already mentioned, just assume it's just casual bullshit. Just casual getting to know each other text, so it's not relevant. So then a few days after we met officially in my store, and we traded contact information. She didn't want to hang out, which is fair, because I told her yeah, we can if you want to get together sometime, we can. Back when we just exchanged information.
Right. Well, you also made the mistake of saying this conversation is better in person.
True.
Because that implies that there will be an in person.
No, I think the breaking point is when you had dinner with him.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
that did happen. Well, no, so pretty much the day after I met her, I went to dinner with people she knew, her family, just not as a daily thing. She asked me hey, did you want to get some food? Because I was already getting off work and playing D anyways.
Right.
So this is just less than an hour. I went to a barbecue place and just ate and just talked to people. Not anything romantically even contextual. Just hi, just very casual friend type of thing.
Right.
And then that night after that is when she started texting me, because she took that as like a very, he's super interested in me. It's like, well, no, I just was polite and took it. People offered me to,
I wanted
to go
food.
to dinner.
Yeah, free food.
I take free food when it's offered.
And keep in mind though, like even though I'm saying all this, like she's still a very like nice person in person and like very, a very good customer. Like I would definitely keep talking to her in the future as a friend and stuff, but just she expects way too much of her potential partners. But then later down the line, she wanted to hang out, and she said, "That's cool." Well, I just told her I got off of work, and she's like, "That's cool. I would tell you to come see me, but you said that you didn't want to come to church." So, and that's what she said. So, and then she's like, "Just saying, lol. So what are you doing? Just being like, if you don't want to come to church, that's your fault."
You should have just said, "I'm praying." You interrupted my pray session.
And then right after she said, "What am I doing now?" she then said, right after that, "Did I make you mad?"
Oh God.
So it's like she already knows.
She knows that she's like poking the bear and then is like waiting for some kind of actual reaction. But you're like too calm and nice to
She
actually
wants that honey,
do that.
man.
Right,
She wants
'cause,
that
like,
honey.
Because to be fair to her, she's interested in me. She thinks, I'm cute. She thinks I'm nice and stuff. So she wants to like get to know me. But the way she personally is kind of holding her back from meeting cool people.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And then more casual bullshit. And then pretty much this is getting close to like where I just stopped texting her because it got ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, here it is. And then pretty much like the next day, shortly after me and Trey ran into her family, I was kind of ignoring her all that day because like she just kept like every other fucking text, she kept bringing up me going to her church and seeing her church. I'm like, we haven't even hanged out just by ourselves once. You want me to go to your church and meet your entire family and everybody really important to you immediately? Like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, it's a little too fast.
It reminds me a little bit of Get Out.
I think it's
Fast
probably
and Furious.
because
I haven't seen it yet.
I think maybe she might feel that, it's safe there. I don't know.
You're not gonna rape her there.
Yeah.
That might be it. But so she said, hey, I ignored her. We ran into her family. Her family commented on the fact that she was expecting to get a message from me because I had mentioned over the weekend of texting that if I'm not too busy on Monday and or, sleeping in and stuff because it's my day off, then we might be able to get together. But we never talked the whole day, so we didn't, make any final plans on it. And she took that as like I skipped out her on a date,
Right.
Which wasn't. I mean, kind of, but like we didn't make any final plans. I didn't say like I'm going to be at your place at this time. Be ready.
Yeah, there
and
has
I
to
will
be
take you.
like an exchange of time, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
meetup
Once the
that
time
this
is-
is when it will be. Then that's a date.
So then, pretty much after ignoring her the whole day, I said hey back finally, just because I didn't want to like make it seem like I was just completely ignoring her because she didn't technically do anything wrong. To me, she just was being very weird about talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then her response was, "Miss me, lol. I'm playing."
Wait, was it a statement? Was "miss me" a statement?
"Miss me, lol" was a sentence, and then "I'm playing" was a sentence. So pretty much, I texted her back after not replying to her all days, and she took that as like, "Oh, you missed me, didn't you?"
Oh,
Which I'm not sure if that's her being playful and sarcastic, or her just trying to be coy and flirty.
yeah, I'm not
Probably
sure either.
flirty.
Probably,
Okay.
just not good at it.
Okay, and then in this next part, I'm gonna read everything verbatim, so you can understand
Oh,
how serious I was being. Okay, so after she said I'm playing, I said, well, again, just so you know, we can definitely hang out soon. And I was just trying to be nice to this girl and like not completely bury the fact that we could potentially get to know each other and maybe go out. If she just kind of pulls back a little bit, slows down, and realizes that, you know what, at the very least, maybe we can be friends if you just don't push your beliefs and your church and all that on someone just as soon as you meet them. So that's why I'm wording it this way. And then I continue to say, I just need to be available at the time so we can actually go out. And I said, but I was going to wait until actually we get to have a real date, a real get together before I tell you. But it's pretty important because at this point I realized that she's not going to drop the church shit at any point. So this is where I decided in my mind to kind of just drop the A-bomb, as I refer to it as.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and then she said, okay, what's that? ? And I say, so I definitely would like to get to know you, but you have to understand completely that I'm actually
Gay.
atheist.
Oh.
and Trey is my lover.
Wait, what? I didn't agree to this.
And in case you didn't hear of a Trey, atheist. And I have nothing against what you're about or anything like that, but it's just not for me. Hopefully that doesn't make you too disappointed, and I hope you understand. And then she said, well, that just makes it so where I can't date you.
Wow.
And that was her response.
Uh,
Yeah, that went from 0 to 100 real quick.
The only issue here is that makes it so that we can't date. That's the only so oddly worded.
Yeah, which I was super relieved when I read it. Like, oh, thank God she's gonna get over this now. And then I said, right, well, I was actually hoping to get to talk to you about it in person, so that way I can fully explain it, so that way you don't think it just off the bat like I'm an evil devil worshiper. Because, like, at the very least, something I do enjoy doing in my community, because there's a lot of Christians
Worshipping Satan.
that and showing Christians that people who are secular or atheists aren't just inherently bad or evil or immoral. Because the consensus in like a lot of rural Southern communities is that without religion you don't have morals, because that's the only thing that will direct you in a actual good path. Which for a lot of people,
concept is even up here, to be honest.
Yeah,
no, that's everywhere.
pretty dumb.
Yeah,
it's very dumb.
It's especially prevalent down here though. And something I personally enjoy doing, I did this even back when I was in school, is when really religious kids or Christian kids got to know me on a personal level without even knowing about, me being secular or atheist. And then I dropped it on them. They're like, wow, you're really cool. And you don't go to church? I'm like, yep. And like, huh, I learned something about the world. I'm like, good.
It's a little similar to my experiences being a dyslexic person. Because it's like when people hear that you're dyslexic, they immediately put
Devil
assumptions
worshiper.
that you're devil worshiper.
You worship
But you
Satan.
can't spell it, and it's upside down, and you read it sideways, and all that shit. People
I don't
put the
worship
assumptions
Satan. I
that
worship Stan.
what?
I don't worship Satan. I worship Stan.
Yeah, right.
You're a dick.
But yeah, so it's like when I speak, people tend to assume I'm not dyslexic because I can speak relatively well. I have a decent vocabulary. I am an English creative writing major, and I just don't fit the dyslexic
Mold.
Yeah.
You don't fit the bill.
Yeah, so when I like that. I kind of like that I can just suddenly say, well, I'm dyslexic, and like it jokingly, like as an excuse for a mistake I make, I'm dyslexic. And then they go, wait, what? Actually? And I'm like, yeah, I went to a special school for 3 years.
Yeah, Orc then goes, durr.
I don't know how you spell this.
I just de-evolve.
Okay, and then actually now here's the grand finale that we've all. I don't think Liam heard this part yet either, but here's the finale of how this whole basically situation, me and this girl whose name is Caitlin, who we won't say anything else about, how it kind of ended. So after the 8 bomb and she kind of responded that way, let's see, she didn't say, well, we can still talk about it, but I mean it's a very big part of me, saying that because I'm religious. This part of me will never change, and you being the person who's not religious, you should be willing to change or compromise. And then I say, I'm very set in my ways, just so you understand. She's like, well, I guess that's it, no changing. You're like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then here's where she gets into sassy fucking little bitch. Okay, this is the only because like everything I've said up to now, totally is okay in the sense that she's a religious person that's grown up this way. This is all she knows, and she's trying to handle it the best way she knows. So in that sense, you can't really, like completely like fault her. It's just what she is. It's just sad that she hasn't, honestly probably thought of any of the reasons why she's like this herself. And I know because I've met her family, I've met her, and her father is a pastor, and they've even said herself, this is all she knows,
right.
Like referring to her lifestyle, and her family. So I'm not trying to be presumptuous in saying that she never thought for herself, but she's never had really a reason to, because her entire upbringing and culture has just been around that lifestyle.
Yeah, when everyone that surrounds you is one way, you are going to be that one way.
Yeah, that's
once
never
you
exactly
see
healthy.
another option, then it opens doors to question whether people take those doors or not. Is a question of a person's personality.
And real quick before I finish this up, the text up, to me, like I'd be much more comfortable with being around a Christian person. Not being around. I'd be much more. Oh, I hit my mic.
God damn it, Trent.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we have to cut out everything now.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I'd be much more accepting of someone's different opinions, whether it be Christianity, religion, or anything kind of in that vein, as long as they fully thought about their position and why they're thinking about it. Because to me, if a Christian person or any religious person came to me and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm this way, I understand our differences, but just so you know, I've thought really long and hard about this. I feel like my spirituality is a really important part of me, and I do feel a connection, and this is what works for me. Then I can respect that. That makes sense. You thought it works for you. You've thought about it, and it makes sense to you.
But also, I'm not going to push this upon you. This is my thing.
Which is a part of mutual respect, which a lot of religious people don't feel the need to have.
That's how me and Donovan used to be. Because there was one point where I was, that's what I grew up in, and Donovan.
And tell people who Donovan is really quick.
Donovan's my best friend.
Oh.
Nobody can have her.
Trenton. Get rid of her.
No, but
so Donovan is
Donovan's
Trey's
Trenton.
Liam.
Trey's Liam, yeah.
Trey.
Donovan is he's like a brother to me.
Okay.
He's a friend I've known for since.
He's also a musician.
Yes.
Am I not a brother?
No, you're like a brother too. You're all brothers.
Brother.
Just you a little more. But we used to be the same way. Like, I've never really pushed it on anybody. And then growing up, I found out
damn sure pushed ham in my car though.
Wait, what?
I've thrown various things at Trenton's car.
Okay.
I've thrown Jello. I've thrown ham. I think I've thrown a Vienna sausage.
That's
course.
hot, man. That's hot.
Yo, you ever seen a Vienna sausage splat on TV? It's like the funniest thing.
The point, Trey?
I can say no. I have not seen that.
Just growing up with Donovan, I found out he was atheist, and it really never bothered me. I always believe that you shouldn't really push your beliefs on anybody.
Everyone's entitled to their own ideas.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody can believe what they want to believe in.
Do you consider yourself a religious person?
No, not at all anymore.
Okay.
No, he grew up that way because his mom was a very big influencer of him.
It was mainly
so.
all my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like most families have that. There's not many fully atheist families.
Yeah,
I mean,
a better way to put it is just secular families, families that actually distance themselves culturally from religion, because religion's built into a lot of people's cultures.
I mean, I'm a relatively religious person comparatively to you guys.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be able to tell.
No.
I remember in, what was it, freshman year?
Yeah, when I found out.
Yeah, no, when our whole entire friend group found out, because they were like, I thought you were a devout atheist. I was like,
well,
no,
yeah,
I just don't talk about religion.
There's so many similarities between the two of us that all of our friends just assumed that anything I said was something that you also believed.
Yeah, but they were wrong.
They were wrong. And I was kind of shocked too, because I was under the impression that we were the same person.
Yeah, because I'm a sane human being that doesn't try to impress myself on everybody else. It's like,
right.
But and also, something that a lot of secular and atheist people can keep in mind is that you can be somewhat spiritual and religious, and maybe even believe in just Christianity's example, believe in Jesus, and still kind of overall be a secular person, kind of removing yourself from religion as a kind of a idea or whole, or at least allowing it to affect your life on a crazy scale.
It's kind of like the whole dumb joke of a Jewish person saying, "I'm not Jewish, I'm Jewish." He always gets a big laugh at the fucking synagogue.
Yeah, the Jews love their jokes.
And now
I grew up Jewish, so I'm
only
allowed to
a little
insult.
bit Jew.
And now for the finale, by the way, because we put that part off. But I think the build up for this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So
An entire
pretty much,
podcast to build up.
Yeah.
And here's
Someone should animate this whole thing. Good luck.
Yeah.
That would be actually I would cry.
If we only had fans.
Yeah.
So at the very end, of our
Trey,
conversation,
don't worry, you have fans. It's just the rest of us, we don't.
Trey has fans, we don't.
So she said, "Okay, so I guess that's it. No changing you." I said, "Yeah, sorry." And then she said, "You want to know what gets me?" I then replied, "What? Just what?" And then she said, "That you didn't even give it a try." and then to clarify, because I wasn't sure what she meant. I said, "Do you mean like your church or you?"
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, and then I explained, because even though you're kind of like this, I still think you personally, not everything else, are very, very nice and polite and cool. And then she said one word, church.
Yeah, and my response to that was, that is also a statement that is assuming a lot about you.
Yeah,
basically,
so
what it's
one-sided.
assuming is that the past 21 years of your life, you never even thought about it. Like, it's just like she brought the topic of Christianity to you for the first time and you shot it down. That's what that's assuming. And that's
That is, yeah.
one thing that I don't have any statistical anything to back this up, but what I feel like is a lot of religious people assume that atheists don't want to be religious. But I'm an atheist. I'm a hardcore atheist. But I would love to believe in all that stuff. There's a heaven and everyone that ever was in my life that dies is still watching me and all that stuff. That'd be great. I wish. Creepy. I mean, it's a little creepy, but it's also like you always have people like watching over you and making sure you're okay. That would be great. And like after this world is an even better world. But I can't. So it's not like I don't want to. It's that I can't. From a Christian point of view, you should look at atheists as almost like a disability. We don't have the ability to believe in that shit.
Are you calling atheists retarded?
No, because we're right. But but yeah, I don't. If you have to, look at us as that, and don't look at us as someone that you need to save, because we don't want you to. You won't be able to. The only person who can save us is ourselves, and we have chosen not to.
Atheists are retarded.
Yeah, apparently.
And after I read that, I kind of had to, honestly, just being in the position I am, I had to kind of take it offensively, because everything, like I mentioned earlier, like everything she said up to that point, I could kind of take as, she's just being herself. She's just doing what she knows. But at that point, again, she's still kind of doing what she knows, but at the same time, she is making a lot of big presumptuous leaps, and that was kind of the most offensive thing she said.
Yeah, I mean, I was angry when you read that to me.
Yeah, it's kind of
like everything leading up to that. I was like, okay, she's a little. I mean, I'm gonna be an asshole because that's what I am. She's a little stupid, but then that just made me angry.
Boy, I was laughing the whole time.
I mean, yeah, yes. the stupidity was funny. The that part was also funny, but also just like sad.
And just so, like, I mean, I wish I could tell her this, but like, there's no point. But just so you guys know, I know Orc knows a little bit about this. But I grew up in a rural community where Christianity is super prevalent. I say grew.
I continue to grow up.
You almost didn't.
I still grow.
But very early on in my childhood, my mom considered herself a very devout Christian and took me to church. Like all of my elementary school years, like probably up to like 5th grade, I was in church Sundays and Wednesday nights. I went to what do you call it? Like Wednesday night, like youth group and stuff like that. I was there. I've done that. And because I didn't know any better when I was a kid, that's what I thought. That's what people did. I thought that was, that's just like kind of the objective baseline of like community and socialness and right.
I've been to church camp twice.
And even when I got into high school, when, like my family tried reintroducing me to this stuff, I had experience with it too. Like it's been around my whole life. And the idea of that, even if you don't go to church, like, having some kind of spiritual faith is important to be a whole person and to be a happy person has always been there. And it's always some kind of like, especially in the town me and Trey grew up in, a lot of people here are really immoral, really crappy, but will all consider themselves, Christian to some degree or religious to some degree. And the kind of the baseline idea for a lot of people around here is that, you have to at least keep a part of that to be a somewhat decent person. And when I finally started thinking for myself throughout high school and really challenged these thoughts and really started really questioning it, it made me feel a lot better as a person. And, a lot of the personal anxiety I had over feeling the way I do and really giving thought into it and then also learning about it online really made me feel a lot better. And to have someone, who doesn't really know me assume that I've never given their idea or their way of life a thought, when that's a part of who, even if I'm not a Christian or even I never touch any type of religion again, that will always be a part of my upbringing and my community. Christianity and, church and religion will always be a part of me. And honestly, that's probably a good part of the reason why I'm kind of just overall a really nice person when I can be, because I kind of do admire some
terribly humble.
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, though, I am pretty humble most of the time. I don't really like to brag about myself.
Just brag about how humble you are.
You know what? Or it's our fucking show. So when I sit here and I make an edit, I'll do what I want on this
podcast.
one. I have a podcast. I'll talk about myself if I want to. But man, we actually ate up basically our entire show.
Basically,
Yeah.
that I mean, honestly, I was kind of hoping we would have an episode like this one of these days where it was just one thing.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is gonna be a really fun description. I'm just excited for this.
yeah.
still got some time
I'll
left.
have to
Let's
reach
talk
into
about
my
something
genius.
else.
And this, well, we're pretty much out of time. Like the only thing we really need to talk about now is just the music, unless we want to skip that for a week.
And
nah, we gotta keep
still
going.
recommend music.
Do you guys want to have any closing thoughts? Or actually, wait, before we move on to music, Liam. So that was the full time you heard the full story. Oric and Trayvon kind of got updated with that in real time. So how do you feel?
She was very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta use your brain sometimes.
Critical thinking.
I would
It's
think you
important.
would want to use your brain all the time.
You know, honestly, you don't need to use your brain most of the time. But
I mean, I'm in college and I don't use my brain. Most
yeah, I
of the
never
time.
use my brain.
All right.
You use it the last 3 weeks of college every semester. That's when
Yeah,
you
pretty
use
much.
your brain, and then that's it.
But now,
I guess.
like,
I mean, there's been times where I've forgotten to eat.
Playing video games will do that to you.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're in a very special category of people that will forget to do basic hygiene and like
There's times
taking care
where-
of yourself
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
bad.
distracted.
Yeah, there's times where like I gotta use the restroom, and then like hours later I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, there
was
was
supposed
that
to-
time where that crossed my mind.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
supposed to get up.
go.
I haven't eaten for like hours at times. Like,
Yeah.
it's gotten bad.
So if you want to go on a diet or become anorexic or something, just play a shit ton
Yeah.
of video games.
Play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get a T-shirt that says like, you know, video games, not church or something like that, and like sell that to our audience one day, and have the females that listen to us wear that shirt as a signal that they want to, you know, go to the bone zone with T Gizzle.
Right, yeah. That,
I don't think anybody does.
So what if they
now that you
got
said
'em.
that, that shirt will not sell.
What about
Of
just
course.
church games? Because I know there are some.
What's a church game?
There
Like
are
ping
like
pong.
church
Or
video
as I
games.
said, ping pong.
Bible games.
Yeah, there's Bible games. Like, there's one on the computer.
Like
Where-
Bible.
Is it
bingo.
like a spelling game? Like instead
No,
of
like,
spelling words,
no,
you have
like-
to guess
like legitimate
where in the
games.
Bible it was?
There was a legit.
yeah, the
Bible
Oregon
game.
Trail.
No, if you
No.
go on, it's called the Angry Video Game Nerd. He does a whole entire thing where he plays Bible games, and it is hilarious.
I wish Funhouse did that. I
All
feel
right,
like
boys
that
and
would-
I think
girls.
they have at one point.
I gotta take an executive
know.
host decision here and get ready to start ending the show. So
right,
we don't really have a
why?
lot of time to do the music like explanations, but we have plenty of time to do a recommendation. So if you guys thought about that, go ahead and give the audience and each other the recommendations now. But we won't be talking about the music from last week though.
Okay, me first.
Go for it, Liam.
I'm choosing "Wrote My Way Out" by Nas and all that
It
shit.
sounds like a
from,
fucking jerk off song.
It's a good
From-
song.
from the Hamilton mixtape. It's real good.
Anybody else ready?
I already put mine. Okay, here it is. I already put mine in the playlist last week because, like, right after we were done, I was like, I should have recommended this one. This is not my usual kind of song. That's why I wanted to do it. It's called "Looking for You" by Nino Ferrer.
Mm.
I think you would like it. I
Me?
think you'd all probably enjoy it.
I mean, a really easy way to get to me when it comes to the music I like, it's just you know if it's either singy songy or acoustic and it has like pretty vague meanings, you know, I'll probably get down to it.
So simple.
Yeah, simple. I'm a big fan of simple. Like I like simple music that
Well-
like has like a lot of depth behind it.
It uses. I thought you said death.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It
Emo.
basically uses the engine of like the sound of a moving vehicle as an instrument in an odd way that I really enjoy.
It samples a car.
It's kind of like it makes me think of Money. What's it? Not the entity, but
The Pink Floyd song.
the Pink Floyd song because they use the cash register. So it's kind of like that. It's in the same vein.
Huh.
And then Trey, did you have one ready?
Ultralight Beams, Kanye West.
Okay. Yeah, I like some of Kanye's older albums.
I think that's like one of the best ones on his new album.
Oh, it's from a new album. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
Life of
listened to,
Pablo.
like,
the one with Chance on it.
wait, that
The
came out a
very
while ago,
first
though.
one. Yeah, but it's really good. It's like the best song on there.
I still haven't listened to Life of Pablo.
Yo, just listen to Ultralight Beams.
Okay, I will.
Okay, and then
It's
I'm
on
actually gonna
Spotify.
do a song from a movie, and it's actually a movie we might all eventually talk about. It's actually one of those anime movies that came out. How long ago did it come out, Trey? The one, you know the one. Your name. You remember your name?
So why are you asking me?
Because I think you've heard about it at some point.
Yeah, but why are you asking me?
I'm
don't know
asking
the
like when
date.
the movie came out. It was like
I
around
don't
the time.
know.
Anyways, I think it released in Japan last year, but the soundtrack to the movie, like regardless of the film itself, is very good.
What's wrong
And
with
like
this?
and the main song to it, I just like a lot, and it's by a band. Like a band wrote this like the soundtrack to the movie, and the band is called Radwimps. I don't know what they're called in Japanese, but that's how it's spelled and said in everywhere else. And then the song from the movie that they wrote is called, I don't even know, it's Japanese as fuck. It's like Nande Mona just
Just write it out and I'll put it in the thing.
I'll write it out. But I think even though you guys won't understand what it says, I think probably most everybody in here will like it though, because it's not really it's not like a very anime song. It's just a very good song. It's just foreign. And actually all the band's music's pretty good, but yeah, so it's like Nande Moinai Ia, I think is how you say, something like that, by the Radwimps. It's pretty good.
You're
Probably
very
just spell it
cultured.
out.
Well,
Look,
just write it in the chat and I'll.
When it comes to Japanese words, if I can hear it said out loud once, I can probably replicate it, but after I can't just read it though. And did you guys want to add anything?
No, I mean I just realized that after this is over, I got to do more work and I don't wanna.
That's sad.
I'm so
you know,
tired.
Just fell.
Well, this was surprisingly a very even more personal episode than our last personal episode, because it kind of just went into detail about faith and, and
Yeah.
religion and dating all in like one text conversation.
Me not having a dad.
Me also not having a dad.
No, your dad was the Roomba.
Right, I forgot. I played catch with a Roomba and it got dirt everywhere.
Your Roomba is your dad.
Yeah. I'll just little brief bits of comedy to interject on the sad.
That should have been the
sadness
name of our podcast. Brief bits of comedy.
My dad is a Roomba? Question mark.
Episode 1. My dad is a room.
We just found the title for this podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it now. If it's not, it's because I found something better.
Probably, or thought of something better.
I physically found a name.
Do you find the titles?
I have
But
to
thank
search
you,
deep within
everybody
my own
out
brain.
there, for listening to episode 5 of the Too Soon podcast. And now I'm going to kick it over to Liam to make sure you guys know how to get a hold of us.
All right, guys, just make sure to follow us on Twitter. We're at Too Soon Podcast. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Too Soon Podcast. YouTube, Too Soon Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Libsyn, Stitcher, and TuneIn. And then if you want to email us for whatever reason, thetooSoonCrew@gmail.com. All of these, it's all spelled out, no numbers, no nothing, no bullshit. And then also join our Discord, because I forgot that we had one of these, even though we talk in it every week.
Right.
And you can find the link to that in the Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, if we
And
get
then-
enough people in the Discord, what we were talking about doing is before every show, we do like a little mini pre-show, and we would be doing that in one of the public chats if we had other people. And so you could hear and contribute. You won't be recorded, but
Yeah, come talk to us.
if that's your
we
kind
might
of thing.
listen.
You could be cool with us.
Yeah,
because we're cool.
there's like a 20% chance we'll hear you. Maybe.
And
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know the statistics, but
Trey is the math whiz of the group.
oh yeah,
he is actually the best master.
98
genius.
divided by 96.
3
Wow. I don't
and
how
a
did you know that?
half.
Go ahead and say that's wrong. I'm not going to check because of dyslexia, but
I'm right. No,
But thanks,
I'm
guys.
probably
I've
like-
been Trenton,
Oh,
and
I
we
was
got
talking.
Oric here.
yep.
It's time to. We are going over time. Let me end the show, damn it.
Never.
All right, now we have to keep going.
All right, I'm going to do it this way. Trenton, Oric,
Bye.
Liam.
Bye.
Whoa. Holy shit.
That caught me off guard.
and Trey.
Hey, I think it's me.
All right, bye guys.
I'm lost.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Another day, another destiny.